Okay, we left those lakes, climbed up a mountain. Tired, very tired. I want to walk slow, talk about faith. I want to just glance upon Thursday night's debacle. Joe Biden, so hard to watch. He's a good man. I mean, he's part of the government that people hate because they think people like him got it. What's the chance of that? I lost my sunglasses. I come back the same way after crawling through the mountains and found him. And then one just lied, just couldn't just, he was poised and wasn't like the worst, but the guy just lies about everything. It's like watching a freaking plane crash, but being in one of the front seats that was coming towards the ground. Watching the country just go, poof. But let's get past that. My worry, Trump's going to get in there, holy shit. But forget politics. Forget both those guys. What we're really fighting about is wealth and equality. It is us somehow thinking that God wants us to be wealthy, which we go try to get as much money as we possibly can, buy 2 homes, live in excess. Why, 65% of the country lives in poverty, hunger, exposure. And then we all go to church on Sunday and we figure we wrap ourselves around somebody that's speaking ahead of us, somehow rationalize doing that. And there's nothing we can say or do. We've taken paradise and we've cut it up and diced it up for every damn penny. We all know what we're doing to this planet. My faith in God, my relationship with Christ is so real, so sincere, equal to any human walking, any that's sitting up in front of a pew, any that's speaking to a mass. I think we all have that opportunity, but you really have to sacrifice. I mean, you really do. You got to think back at the teachings, if you're truly going to follow, which I have not done this, but I'll tell you, it has cost me everything. Man came up to Christ and asked him, he wanted to follow him and he wanted to be a disciple. He just wanted to know what he knew and be what he was. And he calmly said, go home, sell all your worldly goods, find someone poor and give them everything that you work for. And the man said, everything? Everything. And the man just dropped his head and shamefully walked away. And you can maybe say that's a fairy tale or folk story for somebody like me who has personal existence knowledge. I really don't care what people think. It doesn't matter to me. I don't live off of one person's word. We're so far off. We are so sitting watching our television sets where people are being bombed and killed, and unfortunately war is what we created, not what was. But in a true world of faith, Allah, Muhammad, Jesus, God, Buddha, Hinduism, follow something so personal it changes your life. And when you know, you know. And when you know, you should automatically be on a different path. And that path is figuring out how to minimize what you truly need and how to maximize, give away what you have excess of. I've done it in real time. I talk to myself all the time thinking, I'm going to retire. I'm not in the best of shape. And I'm told over and over again, everything's going to be okay. As I try to enrich other people's lives, help other people. People who are more destitute than me. Which, let's face it, they're everywhere. Look at that beautiful dog. I think she's having fun. That girl's having fun. Boo, where you at? There you go. So no one can really dispute this. You can turn away from it. You can make excuses how that's not what your pastor tells you, your bishop tells you, your priest tells you. Or if you give your 10%, 12%, whatever. Let's say you're a trillionaire and you give them $1 billion. It's like giving somebody 10. So let's not pat yourself too much on the back. But every one of us know in the depth of our heart, in the depth of our soul, in the existence, when we wake up and we open our eyes to the beautiful sky and we feel life itself, we get up and you see it everywhere. You know what I'm saying is real. You know we've gone so far to one side and we're fighting each other and it's getting dangerously close to something that's anti-Christ, anti-Allah, anti-kindness, anti-human, anti-compassionate. And all in the name of God. Killing the planet. I'm telling you, we are headed for a corporate owned and operated by Apple, Musk, Super Douche from Amazon, all the oil barons, the Rothschild family, just all the wealth of the world is crushing down on all of us. And what we're doing is we're actually just playing into it. Here's that lower lake I was telling you about. We did walk forever. Holy shit. And yet we just do what we do. We're excessive. We're mean. We're at the store. We can't even say thank you or you're welcome or kind of notice somebody trying to be decent. And then we all go to church. We all have some sort of, Bible or Quran or some book of words that's going to somehow elevate you to be a more compassionate person. And we don't fucking apply it. And you think to yourself, how godly could this guy be? I just use the word fuck. I'm not thinking that's a big deal. Now, do I think he should go around saying it? No. Should you ever say it around kids? No. In the right context, I think it's pretty damn accurate. But what are we doing? I'm serious. I mean, I come out of these places to try to really stay in touch and get as close to God as I can. Because somebody's going to come in front of me in the next month. And it's going to need some sort of resources. And you could say, well, you're just giving to lazy people or addicted people or people that just aren't working hard enough to get their get the money they need to survive. And you think about that. Is that not opposite of what Christ would have been teaching you? Or Muhammad? Is that not just the opposite? It's not about what you can get and how much of it you can have and how many people you can walk over to get to it. I'm telling you, that is what has got us a Donald Trump. I'm telling everybody he is the darkness. And that is a no shit statement. And I'm not trying to be one thing or another. It's just he called on billionaires to give them more money in their pocket, which all they do is take from us. They pay us less, they cut the benefits, they take everything from us, and then we're going to put somebody back in there. The Supreme Court just gave more power to pollute our air and our water, which pollutes our food, because corporations somehow got in there as a special interest and convinced them that to us is not a big deal. How in God's creation is that even a thing with anybody standing on that side? You know what it is? Money. The people are standing on that side thinking what I'm saying is horseshit. Stop and look at it. We're on the same side. We're on the side of the government's taking us for a ride because corporations are all in the pockets of every one of them. Donald Trump is begging them to be in their pocket. Think about that. He is begging them to be in their pocket. He got them and said, give me and I will give you. And then we sit back and go, that guy can't do no wrong. He's a decent man. And then those guys are going to turn around and fuck us all and get more AI into their businesses and pay us less until we can no longer afford doing what we're doing. And only until one of us, who's got tons of it, becomes one of us, will you give a damn? And then I'm going to go back to, you're full of shit. God is not there with you, no matter how much money you got, no matter how many times you pray, no matter what church you go to and what priesthood you hold or what level of commitment you have to your lie. Because what I'm saying is truthful. Absolutely 100%. And it's so obvious it's stupid. It's so obvious it's stupid that we even got to have a conversation. And I got to speak it out loud and have people not have any kind of obvious, like, yeah, you're right. And I know some of these videos could end my business. I don't want that. I just want there to be equality. I want the God we say we have in us to be sincere. Build it bigger, separate yourself more from us, the more further you get from God. When you cross over, it's going to be a really tough time. And I'm not one to say you're going to hell, because you're not. You just have to look, love, compassion, and truth, and blinding acceptance, and be a person who didn't give a shit about caring about those who didn't have anything. I find that tragic. I find it so out of balance. If we don't catch balance, we're going to kill this world. We're going to leave nothing for our kids. Nothing but generations of animals. Dogs and whales and everything beautiful. All at the end, money. Even the scientists, they know. They still invest in the stock market. They still invest in things that they know are taking everything from the most of us. So we should hit this upper road. It just makes me so sad. That's what we've become. We told ourselves, somehow, we filled ourselves so full of shit. The investments in the cars, the big houses, and the separations, and the lack of hellos, lack of compassion, the separation, the anxiety of people we leave behind that don't have. We watch them suffer on TV and go to fancy restaurants. Makes no sense. Even my dog's tired. Hey, boo. How you guys doing? Breaks my heart. You know, one or two people may watch this. A lot of people will listen to it, will have an opinion, which is wonderful, actually. Better dialogue and conversation than hate, and, you know, you can disagree. Just not sure what part. Because there's no hook. There's no one person gets and one person doesn't in what I'm saying. We figure out the planet. I know you're thinking, this guy's so full of shit. The world's not like that. War, famine, people are starving right now, getting blown into pieces. Let's go, as all the rest of us, we're sitting back, not speaking much about it, spending more money, knowing that, wow, look at this. That is one serious set of big ants. I'm gonna go over that around. I don't want to crack that open. And that's the side of it. We're not going to do anything about it. We're not going to care about the planet. We're not going to vote. We're not going to vote people in that give a damn that something's going really wrong. Because it's all about money. I mean, I watched a little documentary on the UK. 6 prime ministers in 3 years or something? 4 years? And just brought Brexit and chaos to their country. And doing that made a lot of people poor. Why they robbed the banks in their system. What's the difference between them and us and the people in Washington? What's the difference between us putting them back in there because they say we hate you and go hate those people and those trans are the worst? And I don't hear a lot of people saying, hey, you're a God-loving person, it's terrible. I just hear people saying, don't push on me. But hey, we don't figure this stuff out, we don't get closer to God, we don't start taking what we say we believe in and truly applying it in little baby steps, I guess. But, you know, money means too much to us. The marketplace has just become a den of thieves. Everybody's going to get upset. I'm thinking I'm any better than anybody else. I'm not. I live in a nice house. I drive a nice car. I work my ass off. But I do give a lot of my money away. A lot of it. That's why when I'm looking at retirement, it's like, wow, I'll die a good man. I'll die being the best human I knew I could be. I mean, isn't that the best way to die? And the best way to leave this place is knowing that you did everything you could. I mean, truly to make it a better place. I'm talking truly. You know, I'm not trying to convince somebody to be part of your church. That's not a bad thing, I guess, unless your church tells you to turn away from everybody else. But just to be brothers and sisters on a planet that's in dire straits, and the only person that's going to suffer is all of us. while all the wealthy people sit up there and watch us die, like they're doing in India, like they're doing all across Africa. We even do it here. We drive by them. Supreme Court, conservative Supreme Court. This is a conservative, values-driven Supreme Court. Just made it illegal to be homeless and in an encampment. Now, some of you may be saying, oh, it's about damn time. Yeah, what should we do with them? Shoot them? Put them in jail? Nothing good about that. It's cruel. Ain't nothing God about it. Ain't nothing conservative about it. It's just cruel. Just super, super cruel. And then the same day they gave the same order to give less power to the EPA so the wealthy people can pollute, get rid of their toxic water and air cheaper so they can put more money in their pocket while they continue to poison the poor. We say we're God-loving people. God, I swear. I mean, I know we say we believe, but for God's sakes, we just start acting like it. I mean, seriously, wake up tomorrow. Think you don't need all that. Certainly not a couple $1 million in the bank while people have nothing. Go get your new shit and just forget that. Look at people around you as equals. Look at the people on the street as worthy of love and worthy of help and addicted. And people are working 2 jobs and still can't get no food in their house. Instead of emulating people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all a bunch of evil, dark-sided mofos. And I'll say this again. My heart of heart, I believe Donald Trump is the Antichrist. He has convinced a whole lot of Christians he's their one. And he is pitch black, dark. He is the worst of us. I'm going to go through the reasons why. If you can't see it, you're just lying to yourself. You got other motives. And in the end, we have to stand, take the task, take that weight with us through all eternity. One thing I've learned about who I am, the more you do for others, the lighter the weight you carry into the afterlife. The more money you take to heaven, the heavier that weight becomes. Walking through the pearly gates of whatever you want to call them, whatever somebody wants to put in their mindset. It's going to be a tough moment. You're going to feel the burden the second you enter. All right, I'm done. I'm sad sometimes. And for most people, I think I walk around sad. I'm never sad. I'm concerned. I love this planet. I love Americans. I just love the people. And it may sound stupid, it may sound silly, but isn't that sad? Just the whole thing makes me, I guess I'll just be kinder. But from there, it's just heartbreaking to me. How do we get here? How do we continue to tear it all up? Invest in the death of our own kids' future? Makes me sad. All right, peace.